Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Nina Means, Director for Austin Community College Fashion Incubator, and we are here live for Coffee Talk. Thank you so much for connecting with us over the last several weeks. We've been trying to be consistent with our content. Last week we had to play a recording of our previous conversation on digital fashion and the future of digital fashion. However, we believe it was a really critical conversation to have. But today I wanted to jump back in with our content calendar and talk to you about some of our designers. You guys are a part of our journey as creating a unique space for small businesses to leverage technology to support the growth of sustainable fashion brands. This is a unique opportunity for us, as well as for the local community here in Austin, to be able to overcome some hurdles that would typically be untenable for fashion brands, something that could not be overcome by fashion brands that are just getting started. The costs are exceptionally high. The ability to move freely through our current supply chain can be incredibly challenging. And so this is an opportunity for us to be able to help brands navigate systems that have been very difficult to understand or to see kind of behind the layers of how we do what we do. We really are all about kind of uncovering that process for brands and supporting their ability to create commercial collections. So that is what we're doing here at the Fashion Incubator. We are supporting small brands going to market with fashion technology and a focus on sustainability. So we're really excited to be able to do that here, specifically in Central Texas. But we work with a variety of different brands around for various programs. And so we can tell you guys about that another time. But today, what I wanted to do is to go through and talk a little bit about some of our brands that you haven't gotten a chance to meet yet. Today, I'm talking about G-180. It is led by Carolyn Nash, who is an incredible founder. She's been doing some really great work on her brand. And so I wanted to tell you a little bit about her work. You can join our Facebook group. These are things that you guys can do to support some of our designers as they're building their collections, building their communities to learn more about what it is they do and how they do it. So it's G-180 LLC. You can find them on Facebook. But Carolyn is actually looking to promote a culture of summertime fun by educating swimmers on the importance of water safety. She's providing swimmers with kind of the necessary recreational equipment to ensure they can be great, be fun, and be safe while swimming. Carolyn has a variety of reasons and whys behind her product, but I believe that's her story to share. What I will share today, though, is just helping you understand how what Carolyn does connects to her customer really in 3 different ways. First of all, one of the things that I really appreciate about what Carolyn's created is that she's really addressing cultural disparities around swimming. The difference between what happens with a child of color, Black or brown, versus children who are not in minorities, the access to swimming is drastically reduced, and their ability to handle themselves in the water is significantly more dangerous than others who may have had access to swim lessons early on or other things of that nature. And so it's really important, what Carolyn's doing is really elevating this concern, not just I think really for everyone's benefit. I think I became more aware of some of the disparities between different communities around swimming safety and just even knowing how to swim. And then the risky behaviors of, participating in water sports with or without knowing how to handle yourself should you fall into the water, with or without a safety device. And so these are really critical things where, drowning deaths and things of this nature are really claiming children. And it's a scary thing for parents, and family. But I think that this is really something that Carolyn has really taken on, and has created an amazing group of products that you'll get a chance to see in the future that are addressing this problem head on. And so, you know, really looking at how does she fit into a very specific niche market that appeals to a customer that truly needs her service. So really looking at that. The second thing is really promoting water safety, you know, and I think that in this space, I'm considering this more in terms of the crossover between health and fashion. I believe, across the board, have been able to see a bit more about how health and fashion truly intersect during the last 2 years of COVID. We may not have seen those intersections previously, but now with COVID, we're really clear how health and fashion directly correlate to one another. This is no different. You know, Carolyn has really been looking at the psychology, you know, of this, you know, of what's happening in this space, and she's doing really great work. So what I'm not going to do is to overshare about the product. It's still in work and she's still developing. However, I am really excited about the fact that we're able to look at what can we do to improve health outcomes through fashion. And this is one of those areas where we're really able to promote water safety through wearable pieces that help people to help save lives. You know, so this is a really exciting thing that Carolyn's working on. The last thing is education. You know, education for the audience. You know, I think that, you know, kind of talked about addressing cultural disparities, and then talking about, you know, that overlap of health and fashion. But really audience education, I think, is really an amazing opportunity with her brand. And so I know I've personally felt very educated on this particular area that I was not focused on. However, I believe that the customer has another opportunity in various circles to be able to support this. There's a lot more to this that Carolyn can share with you, and we'll have to have her on in the future. However, I wanted to introduce you to some of the projects and designers and brands that we're working on, because it's really critical that people understand that, you know, yes, we work on apparel, we work on jackets, but we also work in these spaces that create very unique intersections with other industries. And so it's really, I believe that's really important to share as we go forward. If you're familiar with my background, I come from a background in public health. And so I personally really appreciate these intersections of health and fashion as well. But I really wanted to kind of end our conversation today. Carolyn's phenomenal, but I will say, you know, our founders across the board are diverse, you know, they are resilient, they are resourceful, and they are exceptionally multifaceted. We worked with designers who own businesses prior to starting their fashion label. We work with designers who work for NPR, South by Southwest, or a musical artist or a fine artist. We've worked with designers who are in a completely different industry and are project management. We really love the multifaceted nature of the way that our designers come to us because it really enriches the product that they're creating. You don't have to do 5 things at once to be able to be a part of the program. You can be a traditional fashion designer who does all of their own patterns. And I think that you'll see a lot of benefit from that. However, I have noticed that our brands, diverse and resilient as they are, because they worked in a variety of different spaces, have found a way to be incredibly resourceful and pulling the resources that they need together in order to create their brand, their product. We guide them, but they own it. And so this is something that we really love about our founders. One of the things I've been getting asked as we kind of wrap up today's conversation is, how do I join? When do I get to join the Designer in Residence program? And so I wanted to just kind of let you know that in May, at the end of May is when we will open up applications for Cohort 3. So May 27th is whenever the applications will reopen. And we will give you around 8 weeks to finish your applications. We do a very hefty application for the Designer in Residence program. And we do that on purpose. So, you know, it's not for the faint of heart. However, it is something that if you stick with it, you'll be able to, it's definitely worth the time. So We'd love to get a chance to have see your application come through. We'll give a little bit more details on how to prepare for that application. We definitely want to see that you sold. We definitely want to see you know, some physical samples, things of that nature of what it is that you'll be creating while you're here with us. And if you're not sure, if you're kind of in the space of, you know, I think I want to, you know, focus on a fashion business, but I'm not really sure what it takes in order to do that, we have a program that's starting in April. It's a 7-week night class. It's like once a week for 2 hours a week for 7 weeks total. That's sponsored by Macy's. Macy's has sponsored the Future of Fashion series, and that is really the, you know, creative to business owner manual. So if you are thinking that, you know what, I'm a really creative person, maybe I've made a few products, but I'm not sure if making a fashion business is really right for me, this class is really for you. It tells you kind of the behind the scenes of all the things you need to think about when creating a fashion business. And I believe it'll really help you to kind of determine whether or not you want to apply to the designer in residence program at the end of May. So this will give you a moment to kind of think through, ask questions of industry insiders who will be teaching the courses. And best of all, that class is offered for free. So if you haven't signed up for our email is fashion.incubator@austincc.edu. We will add you to our email list, or if you can hop on our website at austincc.edu/fashion incubator. We will add you to our email list and let you know whenever that class is available to register for. But again, guys, this is a really exciting time for us to be able to share with you the kinds of brands that we're working with, what makes them unique, what makes them stand out, and the things that we really are looking forward to seeing from them in the future. If this sounds like something that's for you and that you're curious about the program, definitely send us a quick email or hop on our website. We will be sending out information regarding the Macy's course, the Future of Fashion, as well as details on the application for Cohort 3 starting later this year. So again, guys, thanks so much for joining us. My name is Nina Means, Director for Austin Community College Fashion Incubator. Have a great week.